எனக்கு தெரியுதுங்க, கிளீனா தெரியுது. இது லைவ்ல தான் இருக்கு. உங்களுக்கு லைவ் வரலையா? ஐயா உங்களுக்கு வரலையா? உங்களுக்கு லைவ் வரலையா? ஐயா உங்களுக்கு வரலையா? லைவ் வரலையா? நீங்க கால்ல இருங்க. ஐயா உங்களுக்கு வரலையா? குட் மார்னிங். குட் மார்னிங். நீங்க கால்ல இருங்க. ஐயா உங்களுக்கு வரலையா? குட் மார்னிங். குட் மார்னிங். Okay. Sorry, being late and sorry that we couldn't be on time as well. Though we started, the audio is also mute. Now I'm going to repeat what I said. As we see the papers today, the major coverage is of Donald Trump only, the victory of Donald Trump. And Indian Express has said that Donald Trump, they converted into Donald Triumph. That is the heading in the Indian Express. But interestingly, they are covered in Times of India. Almost 5-6 pages have covered the American elections. Hindu also given a wide scope of coverage in American elections. So according to us, the US elections, if you start reading everything in the paper, it will consume a lot of time. So we may have to selectively read here and there, because every 4 year election comes. I don't remember a question appearing on US elections in UPSC for the last 15-20 years. So all you have to know is he is coming for the second time. And also in history of American president election, how this trend had been, how many people had non-consecutive terms, they have been selected twice. So such facts you got to recollect. Then Hindu has given a wonderful editorial on his selection. Also, Indian Express had given a beautiful editorial on it. So major point which is highlighted by the Hindu is in the economic sphere, tariffs are likely to be back in play. So Trump has promised in his election campaign that he'll put 50 to 60% tariffs on the goods from China, and uh, he has been called the tariff king and other things. And Ukraine have to maybe forced to accept unpalatable concession towards finding a truce in Russia. So the relations of America with the Middle East country Ukraine has been highlighted in the editorial of Hindu. Also finding a truce with Russia, that's what I said. And in Gaza with Iran, Israel, Benjamin Netanyahu may release the prospect of good relations with the US. That's what being highlighted by the Hindu. So the economic aspect as well as the international ramifications of the selection of Trump should have been the first reading of it. We may restrict to that only, because there are other important items have come up in the Indian land. The first is the Vijayalakshmi scheme. Very interestingly, Prime Minister Modi had tweeted about two things. One is Vijayalakshmi scheme, and another important matter is 10,000 crore infusion. You could infusion in Food FCA, Food Corporation of India. So that are the major two focus points of Narendra Modi, Prime Minister Modi today. So it is suffice to restrict with that. So what I want to say is, reading newspaper is one part, and then social. If you, most of you are in social media, it is always better to watch the Honorable Modi's tweets and some of the important ministers' tweet, so that you can you spend a lot of time in browsing the mobile, chatting with people. And I would say around in the whole day, any civil servant or anybody educated person would spend at least 1 or 2 hours in mobile phones. So to avoid being diverted into wrong things, and to restrict yourselves from accessing the wrong and unnecessary channels and chats, so you can follow the tweets of Narendra Modi ji, and you can make note of it also, because that's the whatever the government is trying to kind of highlight and promote in a big way. So that has to be noted by you. So in Vijayalakshmi scheme, very interestingly, they have put actually, it allows kind of to get a women student, a lady student, to avail loan up to the 7.5 lakh rupees to a specific higher education institution. They have identified from 860 quality higher education institutions. If someone wants to pursue a course in these institutions, they can kind of avail a loan of 7.5 lakh rupees. So the target of the entire scheme is around 22 lakh. That's what the ministry is saying. So this is one of the important news item. And the FCA, as I was saying, that's another important news item. And the limit I put for the Vijayalakshmi scheme is the annual income must be less than 8 lakh per year. That you have to note. In exceptionally, Times of India had put one story that in a first Indian officials holds the talks with Taliban defense minister. So that's one of the important exceptional news item put by the Times of India. You can take note of it. Taliban history we know, and since India is going closer, its international importance getting highlighted. So that news, another exceptional news. Another exceptional news highlighted by Indian Express is the two-day security conference to be held at Delhi. It starts from today. That is highlighted in the Indian Express. So the major points today is of Trump. So I told you, take only the important editorial aspects of it. His second term and the economic aspects to it. He spoke about tariffs, and and the peace at Gaza as well as in the Ukraine, and the impact to India. This one have to note. Second, I spoke about Vijay Lakshmi scheme. Uh, you know, uh, Availing a 7.5 lakh loan, to minimum interest rate with the annual income of less than 8 lakh rupees that I told, to targeting 22 lakh, female students pursuing higher education in the 860 important education institution. That is the second point I told. Infusion of 10,000 crores in the FCA. That is the other thing, a major item of news today. Even that was tweeted by Honorable Prime Minister of India, that we have to note. These are the major three things. Small things I was talking about, the Indian officials meeting Taliban defense minister. Also the two-day a conference, security conference to be held in Delhi today. So these are the major things. So one point I would say is before you end a day, for example, your dinner after your regular studies, during the course of dinner, you can listen to the radio news for 15 minutes, 20 minutes. So you can summarize the day. They have put a beautiful summary, radio news, listening to radio news while talking, while having food. This would ideally kind of give a good summary of the day. 15 minutes of radio news and the next day newspaper will kind of ease you, kind of looking at afresh of the paper, so it won't make you tired. So you'll be ready for the next day's newspaper. So that's all from me. Thank you very much. Thank you.